Josh Green here for Tungsten Tales. Delighted to be joined by Ben Robb once again. Ben, how you doing?
Yeah, good, bro. Yeah, some good news behind me as well. So, pretty good at the moment.
Yeah, it's been a good few weeks. We're going to talk about Denmark. We're going to talk about getting to the Alipate, but you must be really enjoying your darts at the moment.
Yeah. I seem to be scoring well and hitting my doubles at the right time. And yeah, when the big moments have come lately, I've seemed to be putting it over the line. So, yeah, confidence is pretty high.
Let's talk about getting to the Alipate. You look at the depth in that qualification tournament and on the DPNZ tour all over, really. There's a lot of competition on that tour. So to come through that qualifier must fill you with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, and I had a good start to the year. Kind of the last couple kind of dropped off, and that last weekend, hope was averaging some big numbers too, and for that whole year to come down to one day was quite a lot of pressure, and yeah, you kind of cut it with a knife in the room. The intensity was unreal, and but I think the boys showed up and showed up with good numbers, and there's a lot of good quality games. So to come out of that amongst that pack was it was massive for me.
And to do it under the amount of pressure you were under, I mean, obviously it's not just getting to the Ali Pali that you're under pressure from, but there's huge money to be earned at Ali Pali. And to do it under the pressure, you must be happy with that.
Yeah. I found myself, or I've my fourth time getting there. It was my third time getting over the line with the format of a top 16. So I kind of knew the other boys hadn't got over that line as such, whereas I was the only guy in recent times to really go through that process and put it away. So I had confidence knowing that if I got to the moment, I was the only one that really had done it. So yeah, that's what gave me confidence in that room full of pressure. Was like, if I could put myself in those moments, how will the other guys kind of feel in that unknown water? Whereas I was quite familiar with it, and yeah, it really worked in my favor in big moments. And some of the boys missed some shots, and I was there to jump on it real quick.
Does the thought process change at all when you're playing Hopi? Because you obviously won the World Cup pairs with him. I'm sure you've played him hundreds and hundreds of times over on the
Yeah.
tour. Is it any different?
Yeah, no. The best part about playing Hopi is I know I'm going to get a quality match. He's so consistent, so I know that there is no room to be complacent in my own game. So I guess he brings the best out of me in my game because I know that if I don't show up, I'm gonna get pumped. So that's my mindset when I play that guy is beyond my game, because if I'm not, I'm just gonna be put away. So yeah, and the last couple of times I kind of got over him a little bit too, which is good for my own confidence.
And you paired up with him, of course, in Denmark at the WDF World Cup and went through and won the pairs event. I mean, looking at it, you were one of the stronger pairs. You've obviously both played in the World Championship. You've both played in the PDC as well, the World Cup, of course. I mean, there was that going in. Did you believe you were going to win that tournament?
Yeah, I felt like we know each other really well. The pairs format is quite hard. You're not just playing for yourself, so the mindset changes a little bit. And we won the Oceanic pairs in 2018, which had the likes of Corey Cadby, Damon Heta, Gordon Mathers. Like, we had a lot of quality pairs there too, and we were able to go through that as well. And yeah, when we were walking up to it, I saw the draw and I thought, geez, you're not making it easy for us, because we had to go for some quality pairs. But yeah, I don't think anyone got to a double against us to win a match or anything. We controlled our pairs games, and we kind of just had confidence in each other to do our jobs. And yeah, came over the first men's pairs gold for New Zealand was something special.
What was the experience of the WDF Cup like for you guys?
Yeah, it's just a different format. The passion for the game is that it's kind of like that grassroots level. It's that the buzz around it, the people playing. You're not playing for money. You're playing for the pride of your country, and putting medals on that board for future players to come across and see your names and stuff like that on those winner lists. So yeah, it's a different atmosphere because you're not just playing for yourself. You're playing for a country as well. And yeah, it had like a bit of the shorter formats hurt because the PDC is quite longer formats. You're going to work your way into a game, whereas WDF was quick fire. You went on, you were going to go out early. So it was different to adjust to.
Now, we've talked about the fact that you're going to be playing at the PDC World Championship. You were obviously given that decision of playing at the PDC World Championship or playing at Lakeside. How did you come to the decision to play at Alipate?
Yeah, it pretty much came down to a financial decision. I have a young family. You know, I've got to think about what's best for us overall, and the prize money, you know, the potential of what you can do if you go deep into that tournament, you know, it could be life-changing. So, you know, it's hard to say that you chase the money, but, you know, when you got other people relying on you, you know, you've got to do the right things for those people that are closest.
Was it difficult to turn down Lakeside? Because I imagine you'd have gone into that thinking you've got a real chance of winning that sort of tournament.
Yeah, and the history attached to it. A lot of big names that I watched come through when I was young, like the new face coming through darts, and you know, to know the players that have been there before and participated. I would love to put my my stamp on that tournament and kind of show what I could do in that tournament. But yeah, the way things are going, is just going to make it harder and harder to get there. And the goal, unfortunately, the goal is that high level PDC. I mean, the exposure, the prize money, that allure of life-changing money is too much to turn down at the moment.
Was it a little disappointing and difficult from your point of view that you actually had to make that decision? Because obviously the dates don't clash and there was a possibility that you could play in both, but unfortunately the PDC made the decision that you had to choose. Was that hard to sort of swallow?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I put a lot of time into the New Zealand Dart Council, which is the WDF body over here, and I made a lot of effort, WDF World Cup and stuff like that. And for an amateur player that hasn't got a tour card, every opportunity is something that you strive for. So to be able to be told not to be able to play in Lakeside was tough, but like as a player, you just kind of create as much opportunities as you can, and there's no point letting those the governing bodies kind of turn your confidence or the way you look at the game different, because I can't control that. All I can control is the darts that I throw. So hopefully they sort it out between themselves to allow players to play in both. But yeah, that's not really my call, and I just play to where I'm allowed to play, and wherever the opportunities are, I'll play in it.
You've talked about going to the PDC being a financial decision for your family. Does that put any extra pressure on your game when you turn up at Alipate?
No, not really. My fourth time being there now, and it's more exciting. It's more of the excitement of the challenge. Obviously, the prize money and all that stuff is exciting and like that. But everything's stable at home. I don't need to win money to change our lives. I mean, it's a want, not a need. So the pressure of that is more of, I want nice things, whereas you know what I mean. Like, I don't need them necessarily, but I just want that challenge of the best in the world, and if I can play my game and showcase my ability on that stage, I feel like I can get the most out of it.
Yeah, and obviously you were opening night last time around. That must have been a difficult one to deal with, seeing as you were the first player to fall. It's always a difficult scenario.
Yeah, it definitely was. And pacing yourself and your mindset to not only play the world champs for your game, but you've also at the back of your mind got to be on for the next game if you can get through that game, because it's the only time in the world champs where you play 2 times in one night. So it was something different, and lots of lessons learned about preparation leading into that tournament. And yeah, this time around it's a little bit different. I feel a lot more settled. I used to always watch the draw, like, oh, I hope I don't get this guy. I don't, but it doesn't matter. Like, every time I've drawn someone, they've just played amazing darts on the stage, and they want it just as bad as I do. So this time around, it's more about myself, and I don't really mind who I get. If I know that if I play my game, then I can challenge anybody in the world, and I truly believe that.
I think when you were at the World Cup, you were getting a lot of praise from Wayne Mardle, who does the Sky commentary. over here. He likes the action, he likes the attitude on stage. Is that something you listen to and you can take confidence from?
100%, mate. That guy's life has been darts. You know, he sees everything and watches everything, and he's passionate about the game. So for someone like that to recognize my own abilities and the way that I conduct myself when I play darts, and he had a lot of raps on it, a lot of messages from home saying, you know, Wayne Mardle's in love with you and all this kind of stuff, and it's pretty cool, man, because you know he's an iconic person in the game of darts, and you know if I'm getting his praise, I'm doing something right.
Yeah, I mean, for you getting the praise of a obviously former World Championship semi-finalist, does it make you believe that you can come over here and do damage? And is that a goal of yours in any way?
Yeah, 100%. Mate, like just the PDC players when I'm around them, whether it's World Series, World Cup, you know, they kind of, you know, they're not trying to push me away or anything like that. They're almost welcoming me into the room. And, you know, a lot of, you know, Mac Alkin's boys with Dimitri and that. And obviously, I've got a good relationship with Damon Heta. You know, those boys are around that high quality week in, week out. And, you know, they always tell me, you know, you're ready for this, mate. Like, you know, you come over here, get your tour card, you'd fit right in with the whole thing. So that gives me confidence as the guys at the top end are recognizing my ability and then, you know, telling me to get amongst it. So, yeah, we've been organising it all year and, making the world champs this year. I'm gonna go to Germany in January and try and get my tour card through that way. So and have a crack, and you know why not?
How important is that support from guys like Damon and guys that have done it before? Because obviously coming over from New Zealand or Australia and basing yourself here, I assume that's what you'd have to do, is not an easy decision.
Nah, I got a young family. It's a long way. You know, if something happens with, you know, mum, dad, uncle, auntie, you know, it's a long way to get home. So it's a massive decision to make. But, you know, like the pros outweigh the cons as such if, you know, you can make it all come together. And, you know, those boys at the top, you know, telling me that my game could fit into the PDC and that I could compete because they wouldn't waste my time. They wouldn't blow smoke in the air. You know what I mean? They're good mates and they tell me how it is. And yeah, they're always ones to tell me that I'm ready for it. And, you know, guys like that telling me gives me a lot of confidence.
All right, good man. Really appreciate your time. And yeah, we'll see you over in London in a couple of months' time.
Hey, cheers, Josh, bro. Thank you, brother.